Adriana Arsenault, and welcome to my Kitchen Science Show video. Now, you might have already noticed, I'm not in my kitchen, but I am going to be showing you an experiment that you can do with items you might find in your kitchen. Today I've got cornstarch and water, which are the two things you need, but I also have food coloring, blue and yellow, which I'll mix together to make green, and some sequins. Those are optional. I also have a bowl to do my mixing, a wooden spoon, a metal spoon, and some paper towel in case things get messy. And that reminds me, it's always important that you ask your parents before you borrow anything from your kitchen. Today we're going to be making something called Oobleck, which has been featured in a Dr. Seuss book. Now, in order to explain Oobleck, I think I should also mention that there are 4 states of matter. Solid, like this bowl, liquid, like the water I have in my cup here, gas, like the steam rolling off a boiling pot of water, and plasma, like stars or lightning. What's interesting about Oobleck is it's referred to as a non-Newtonian substance, meaning it's not really a liquid and it's not really a solid. It acts like a liquid, but it can also act like a solid under pressure. Let's see how we can make it. Let's start by rolling up our sleeves and pushing aside our cornstarch and our bowl. We can start with our water, and please don't mind my sequins on the table. Now, it's really important that if you want to make your oobleck a certain color, that you add the food coloring to the water and not to the cornstarch. Now, I'm going to start with just a drop of blue. We don't need too much. And 1 drop of yellow. Let's do 2 drops of yellow. There we go. And I'm going to use my metal spoon to just stir that together. And see, we've got a lovely Grinch green. Now might be a good time to use that paper towel so we don't make a mess. All right, so we've got our watercolor mixed, and now let's take a look at our cornstarch. Now this is where I want to add my sequins. So I'm just going to pour some in, and I'm curious to see how this changes the consistency of my oobleck, or if it does. And here we can just mix this with our wooden spoon. Put them in there. Awesome. Now, we're going to take our bigger bowl and we're going to pour all of our cornstarch in there to start. Perfect, just like that. And now we can slowly start to add the water. It's really important that we do this very slowly because we don't want to accidentally add too much water. If we do, we're going to have to add more cornstarch. So just a little bit and we can start stirring. Now, it's going to be tough to stir, but that's the point. Ugh. Keep stirring. You're going to stir until we get a goopy, sometimes tough substance. Oh, it's tough. Cool. Now after a few minutes of stirring, it should look like this, where it's tough to drag your spoon in, but as soon as you let go, it looks like a liquid. Now, it's important to remember, if you think it's too liquidy, you can always add more cornstarch. And if you think it's not liquidy enough, you can always use more water. Now let's get our hands in here and see how this oobleck reacts. Oh, so when we pick it up, it's hard and really goopy. But as soon as I let it go in my fingers, it runs through like water. I can grab some and squeeze it together and make a ball. And look at that, it's staying like a solid. Do you see that? When I scrunch it up like that? It's like a solid, and then as soon as I let go, it's back to a liquid. Super cool. Oobleck is a lot of fun to play with. Really fun to make, even more fun to play around with. You can add different colors and maybe even different sequences or different glitters to see how it reacts. You can see a few of my sequences in there. Look at that, back to liquid. Super fun to just scrape at. and watch it fall through your fingers. So you can really see here the way the Oobleck is acting like a liquid, but as soon as I'm applying any pressure, like I am when I'm hitting it, it's back to acting more like a solid. This is why it's referred to as a non-Newtonian fluid, because it's a fluid that doesn't follow Sir Isaac Newton's laws of viscosity. You can really see it when it just flows straight through my fingers. Anytime I'm scraping at it, it's back to that more solid state, but as soon as I let go of that pressure, it's back to a flowing liquid. I should also probably mention that Oobleck is super easy to clean up. All you need is a little bit of warm water. But I don't recommend that you put it down the sink. It's better if you toss it in the garbage. I really recommend putting it in a plastic sandwich bag and throwing it out that way. That's what I found was easiest. You can really see when I pick it up and I start to form a ball with it, that's when it looks the most like a solid, because it's becoming a solid object that I can pass around. But the second I'm letting go of that hard pressure and I'm just letting it fall onto my palm, it flows straight through my fingers, just like the water would have as a liquid. Wow, look at that. Oobleck is a lot of fun. It's a really cool science experiment, making something that is somewhere between a liquid and somewhere between a solid. Now, comment down below if you use any different colors or try glitter or other kinds of sequins in your Oobleck at home. Thank you for watching.